Yo, Big Kish back up in here. Was this verse supposed to be on Good Kid, Mad City? Now, this is a Funk Flex freestyle done by Kendrick Lamar. I'm sure y'all done heard it already. But there's a part in it where he's really passionate about his rhymes. Even though Dot is always passionate about his rhymes, this brother, Top 5 Troy, points out how, like, he was there. He was about to cry. Yeah, Dot was about to cry on this one. So this was very, very important to him, this verse right here. And he goes and say how he thinks it's supposed to be in the Good Kid, Mad City. I skimmed through this, but I want to watch it with y'all. Like, y'all let me know what y'all think about it. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Shout out to Top 5 Troy. I like this breakdown right here. I like it. I like it. Y'all know I like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
Till the day he carried by the big six. Domino, come.
New York City, one take.
Yo. And I remember seeing this and how serious Dot was. Like, he was like, I was like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? But he's about to break it down. Y'all check this out. Listen.
Kendrick Lamar has such an amazing pen that he can afford to write for others, write guest features, write his own albums, and also toss away amazing verses like this one from his Hot 9.
Mind you, Dot said he lost hard drives. He lost hard drives. I don't think people got to understand, like, the artist that he is. You gotta put some respect on Kendrick's name, man. Seriously.
97 Funk Flex freestyle in 2012.
The day I turned 17 is the day that a lesson inside my lifetime come across the close line, every stick my cosign.
This verse is from the Good Kid, man.
Look at that hand. You see that hand? That's the spirit. That's a spirit right there. You see when that hand doing that? That's a spirit. That's the spirit mouth. That's the spirit mouth right there. Y'all people don't understand. Look, check it out.
Mad City era. It was released on YouTube in September 2012, which is just 1 month before Good Kid, Mad City officially released in October 2012.
Hey y'all, I am a one-man show. I record, edit the video myself, create the thumbnail, everything. So hitting like and subscribe does help a bunch.
Y'all make sure y'all tap into Top 5 Troy.
Thanks so much. Back to the video.
And it's no doubt a throwaway from those same Good Kid, Mad City studio sessions. Kendrick is rapping over the Who Shot Ya beat by Biggie,
Separate the weak from the opposite.
which is fitting because the verse.
Hey, I hope you ain't get that name from Top 5. Drake's alleged shooter
revolves around Kendrick's dad, fear of him being shot.
Tony, my biggest fear is to hear Kendrick disappeared in the fire out here and I didn't help.
So the verse revolves around this conversation that Kendrick's dad is having at the Domino table with a friend named Tony. And Kendrick's dad is expressing to Tony that he fears for Kendrick's safety as Kendrick tries to navigate the streets of Compton and LA in general.
And Tony, my biggest fear is to hear Kendrick disappeared in the fire out here and I didn't help.
And for those who don't know, I mentioned Domino table. Dominoes is a numbers game where players take turns matching and playing rectangular tiles. One common way to play dominoes is called fives, where you score by placing a tile. So all the sum of the exposed domino ends equals a multiple of 5. So for example, 5, 10, 15, you score in fives. So dominoes is very math focused. It requires you to quickly add the table's visible dots to your tile's value in your hand so you can score at a multiple of 5. All while your cousin or your uncle or your dad is screaming in your ear, trying to mess up your math and get you off your game. It never works though. So to all the black people watching, shout out to the blacks. It's a game very closely linked with our culture.
You ain't black, Ninja? You ain't black? What was that about?
Why? I don't really know, but we all have memories of our uncles and our cousins and just our family in general playing dominoes at the dining room table, shouting at each other.
Team on mine, goddammit. Team on this nigga. Play that blank 6.
We had to do a lot of things to pass time or to make ourselves happy because we were cut off from a lot of things. You could go to prison life or you could go back in slavery. We created things to smile to keep us from crying. So this is why we're so interested in certain games and all of that stuff. But when you look in the scriptures, they did things like cast lots to make decisions. What casting lots is like, it's just like the equivalent of playing dice. You let the universe pick it for you. But that in the Bible, that's called casting lots. Just letting the universe pick your outcome, for lack of better words. Let's get it.
25 and Domino, goddammit.
And if it's one thing we learned from Good Kid, Mad City, it's that Kendrick's dad loves his dominoes.
My damn domino. Motherfucking domino.
Sidebar, I even have an uncle who keeps a full domino set and table in the trunk of his car just in case goes down and we have to break out in a domino game. It's that serious. So anyway, the verse revolves around this conversation at the domino table.
Heard a conversation with my father talking to his favorite partner at the domino table
between Kendrick's dad and Kendrick's dad's friend named Tony.
I love that storytelling, Kendrick. When Kendrick's like Master Splinter, what was that? Where he said, I got a fifth in the trunk, like, damn, what'd he say? I got a fifth in the trunk, like Curtis Jackson for ransom. Was that Master Splinter? The Shireen joint? Y'all know I'm horrible with titles. Let's get it.
Tony. And keep that in mind. It's important because this verse ends with the double entendre on the metaphor of dominoes. So Kendrick's dad and Tony are talking. They're probably having a drink or two, whatever their vice is. They're playing dominoes, chopping it up. And Tony just happens to mention, oh, guess what I saw the other day?
Well, Tony had told him that he saw a young nigga hopping out, busting like 4 charters.
Saw these young guys hopping out, shooting the guns. It looks like they were on drugs. Like, it's crazy out here. And in the midst of this casual conversation, once Tony says that to Kendrick's dad immediately sobers up because it triggers this worry that he has about Kendrick.
And I can smell the
that's a parent feeling. That's why when that situation that happened with Hennessy, man, a lot of fathers stepped up. No, did. That wasn't just, we gonna get on him because he's a Drake Glaze. No, parents felt that. You know what I'm saying? That was a parent thing. Hold on, let's get it.
It triggers this worry that he has about Kendrick.
And I can smell the soberness evaporating by itself.
It triggers this fear. But when Tony brings up the shooting that he witnessed earlier, it immediately sobers up Kendrick's dad and puts him in
Had your ass in his house before the street lights come on. Hey, that's what that is. You know what? Stay your ass in that bedroom. I get you the Sega Genesis. I get you your Super Nintendo. My auntie be pawning, but his auntie be pawning the Sega Genesis. So he damned if you do, damned if you don't.
In a state of worry, and he says his biggest fear is Kendrick getting caught in the middle of some street stuff and basically getting killed.
He said, Tony, my biggest fear is to hear Kendrick disappeared in the fire out here and I didn't help.
Now, this is something that Kendrick even expresses in his own music as well. Like, getting caught up in street activities and gang activities that he has nothing to do with. Like, Kendrick repeatedly admits that he's not in a gang, he's not a street guy, but he's constantly being judged or being punished just because of where he lives.
So if I can give him the game to hydroplane his decisions in life.
And I love the use of the term hydroplane. And
he caught it.
Hydroplane in these bars. I'll get back to that in a second.
So if I can give him the game to hydroplane his decisions in life so he can go further than the streets and remain to be on the honor roll.
But this is
hydroplane, to elevate to a higher plane. Mind elevation. Y'all remember what Nas said on Belly? He was like, mind elevation. Then he was talking to the little dude on the bench. It's like, elevate your mind. Like, yo, it's bigger than this. You know what I'm saying? But remember, the thought is that Kendrick could afford to write for himself, write for other artists, and got throwaway verses for the radio. So look how he put this together. Watch this, y'all.
is basically the desire of most black fathers who grew up in the streets but eventually become well-to-do family men. It's this anxiety of having a male child, a young boy, and realizing that he's going to have to navigate some of the same treachery that you did, and you're desperately trying to veer him off that path. Hence Kendrick's use of the term hydroplane. So Kendrick's dad basically wants him to swerve hydroplane completely off of that path and just become a good kid, make the honor roll, just be an overall productive member of society. Now I know to some people watching this may seem like just a simple wish. Like you just want your kid to just make the honor roll and be a productive member of society.
But coming from that life, you always look at your child like, damn. Like you look at your situations that you've been in when you was in the street, you like, damn, what if my son or daughter is put in any of these situations? How will they navigate that? Are they going to get out of it? You know what I mean? Because I be thinking about shit that I was out like, man, God protected me, man. God really protected me, man. Seriously. Like, yo, how did I make it out of that? But then it gives you this fear. It's like for your child, you know what I mean? It gives you this fear. So, you know, some fathers become controlling, like, nah, hell, nah, you ain't about to go through that. I don't want you going through that. You know what I mean?
Like, why not wish for something more? Why not wish for your kid to become a doctor or a lawyer, a president? So like something more specific and prestigious. But I think the simplicity of this wish emphasizes the reality of the environment that they're living in, where wishing for your son to simply not get killed is a sobering moment. It really makes you visualize and empathize with how they're living and the environment that they have to grow up in. And then we get to the climax of the verse. And honestly, this is my personal favorite Kendrick punchline ever.
Sacrifice my life, even if that shit my mama though, till the day carried by the big six. Domino, come.
So
hold up. Sacrifice my life, even that my mama know. My mama though. Oh, my mama though. Till the day he carried it. Big six down. Oh, the six. Okay.
Six, Domino, come.
So Kendrick's dad is continuing this conversation with Tony. He's telling Tony he just wants Kendrick to go on the right path despite the obstacles currently in his path. And Kendrick's dad says he will sacrifice his own life to keep Kendrick on this path, to protect him, to advise him, even if it kills him.
Sacrifice my life, even if that shit my mama don't.
Which is, I think it's a cool play on words, like a cool little word play, like I'll sacrifice my life even if it kills me. It's kind of saying the same thing twice, but the second time he says it adds this sense of urgency and seriousness to the tone of the verse.
That's art. That is art. When you're able to veer off the path from that everybody else is on, because mind you, everybody's so what everybody was talking about back then. What was that? He said 2011. What everybody was talking about back then? Some nonsense. For you to go off now, I ain't gonna talk about that, what they want me to talk about. I'm gonna talk about this. You know what I'm saying? That is, man, bro.
So yeah, Kendrick's dad, he's saying he's gonna continue to try to protect and advise Kendrick until Kendrick is carried by the big six. Now, carried by the big six, it's a term that basically means that someone is dead. It's referencing six gentlemen or pallbearers carrying a casket to a hearse or to a funeral. It's a common term. Carried by the big six basically means someone is dead. But here's the double entendre. Big six is also a reference to the double six domino, which we already referenced. Kendrick's dad is having this conversation while playing dominoes. And the big six domino, it's significant because it's the highest value domino in the game of dominoes. It's often the starting tile in the game. Like whoever has the biggest domino usually goes first. So if you happen to have the big six in your hand, you go first because it's the biggest domino. So Kendrick uses this big six metaphor to reference his dad's dying wish to always be by his side until he's carried by the big six. And also to conclude the domino reference that he started the verse with. And then Kendrick ends his verse proclaiming domino.
Till the day carried by the big six, domino.
Which is what you shout in the game of dominoes as you play your last tile.
Yo, I did it on one TikTok collage. That joint with him and Pusha T that, I forgot the name of it, but that was one of my favorite joints. How he did the 36 O's, every third verse is legit. Your son dope. Bruh, somebody broke the whole thing down. Bruh, that verse goes into depth. Nostalgia, that's the name of it. Nostalgia with him and Pusha T. He did the same thing on Nostalgia. Like that joint went into depth. Like depth. Like, bro, I really never heard no writers go into depth like that. The only writers I heard going in depth like that is battle rappers. So you the man, when he say I'm really like that, he's really, really like that. He's really like that, bro.
Which signals the end of a domino round.
25 and Domino, goddammit.
Kendrick shouts it as he ends his verse. It's genius writing. And yo, look at Kendrick's face as he says this.
Check it out.
This is something that actually happened.
Look at this, y'all. He about to cry, bro. Listen, look at this, bro. This is real. Look at this. Check it out.
And yo, look at Kendrick's face as he says this. This is something that actually happened. This is a conversation that actually happened.
Bro, he about to cry, bro. This probably why he really left it off Good Kid, Mad City. If what top 5 Troy, if that was, let's just play on it. Let's just say it was taken off Good Kid, Mad City. We just gonna play on it, right? That's probably why he took it off. He like, nah, you know what? I can't. This is gonna make me cry. Check it out. And this ain't even about Funkmaster Flex. This ain't, he went in that studio, like he went in that booth, he went on Funkmaster Flex like, bro, this ain't even about you. Cause word is that Funkmaster Flex always had a hatred for the West Coast. I don't care how much he tried to hide it and all of that. He always had a hatred for the West Coast from back in the day with Pac and them, right? So Dot was looking like, nah, this ain't even about you. This ain't about if you're gonna drop some bombs on it. You know what I mean? This is well deserving of a lot of bombs. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even about you, bro. This about the audience and how we gonna be talking about this freestyle in 2025. This was, what he say, 2011? We talking about this in 2025. What's that? 10, 11, 12, what's that? 15 years? 16 years? Later? Come on, man. Look at it. Look, he about to cry, bro. Look, check it out. Watch this.
And yo, look at Kendrick's face as he says this. This is something that actually happened. This is a conversation that actually happened. He's so moved by the truth.
Damn, bro. Bro, about to cry on that joint. That's how you know it's real, bro. He said, hey, Dot said, look, I'm what the culture feeling.
Truth and authenticity of what he's saying, that he's on the verge of tears. This is hip hop. This is hip hop. The other day I had someone ask me, why does truth and authenticity matter in hip hop? It is just music. This right here is why it matters. This right here is why authenticity and truth matters in hip hop, because we get artists like this. We get verses like this. I'll end the video by saying this. I know some of y'all might like different eras of Kendrick. Some of y'all might like GNX, cocky Kendrick. Some of y'all might like super hungry Kendrick, wanna be heard from the OD EP era. But this right here, Good Kid, Mad City era, like fresh off Section 80, going into Good Kid, Mad City. This is my favorite era of Kendrick. I think this is peak creativity Kendrick. I think this is when Kendrick was at his creative prime. And any nuggets, any unreleased verses or things that I can find from Kendrick in this era, I need all that. Kendrick from that era, to me, is why technically he's one of the greatest of all time in terms of skill.
That's when I got introduced to Kendrick. Wait, I already I told this story so many times, but yeah, I got introduced to Kendrick at the Good Kid, Mad City. I said, man, who is this they keep talking about, man? Who is this? Man, I typed it up. Man, bro, them beat, I was like, yo, it's back. It's back. It's back. You know what I'm saying?
Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City era. This is my favorite era of Kendrick, man. And mind you, this freestyle is happening on Funk Flex's show. And Funk Flex is someone who historically just loves to hate on the West Coast. Funk Flex is someone who would have loved to have Kendrick come on his show, freestyle, and stumble and fail. Especially at a time where everyone was calling Kendrick the golden child, despite Kendrick not even having a proper album out. A lot of people at this point in 2012, before Good Kid,
You could tell when Funk Flex don't want to give somebody their flowers. He hurry up with the segment. You know what I'm saying? He don't be like, oh, you know, he just be like, yeah, okay, all right, cool, okay, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, yo, but this wasn't for him. This was for that freestyle was for us to be talking about it now. 2025.
at Mad City, a lot of people had never even heard of him. So Funk Flex would have really loved for Kendrick to call, you got a West Coast savior, you got this guy, okay, bring him up here. He would have loved to see Kendrick fail. I mean, this is Funk Flex. This is someone who had Griselda, Benny the Butcher, and Conway freestyle on this show.
Oh, yeah. West Side Gun.
Acid, and just kept a straight face as if.
Yeah, West Side Gun was mad. West Side Gun was like, bro, my bros came up there. They killed it. And he's sitting up there acting like, bro, that's foul. Like, yo, dude ain't right. Dude ain't right. He not right.
They wasn't gassing it. Even this guy, Funk Flex, loses his when Kendrick drops that Big Six metaphor.
Till the day carried by the Big Six, Domino, come.
New York City one take. Rappers learned something today.
This is undeniable talent.
Nah, he ain't gas it the way he's supposed to gas it. Nah, he ain't gas it the way he's supposed to get. He ain't get the bar. Funk Flex gas who he want to gas.
And if I had to place his verse on
All right,
Good Kid,
here we go. This is what he thinks that the verse was supposed to be at, y'all. Check it out.
Mad City, let's say this was never a lost verse. Let's say it stays on the album. I would place this verse in terms of story and the concept of Good Kid, Mad City, because we all know Good Kid, Mad City. It's a story that Kendrick is telling. I would have placed this right after The Art of Peer Pressure. This is at the point in the album where
Art of Peer Pressure, that's the Master Splinter joint, ain't it? Oh, where the hell do I get Master Splinter from?
Kendrick is being involved in these mischievous activities with his friends, which is uncharacteristic of him. Obviously, backseat freestyle, they're taking a ride. Art of Peer Pressure, they're doing a home invasion. Money Trees, the song starts out with me and my trying to get it. So he's with his friends. And then I think thematically with this album, this Big Six Domino verse, after Kendrick gets involved in a home invasion and his mom calls him and says, oh,
yeah, when he came with the dominoes.
oh,
Yeah.
what you doing, Kendrick? I think this verse can come in a song after Art of Peer Pressure. It can be looked at as Kendrick's dad kind of having a sixth sense with Kendrick. Like, yo, Kendrick is out doing something bad. His mom happens to call him. And then his dad just so happens to have a conversation like, yo, I hope he's.
This is fire. This is fire. This is fire. Hey, look, this is fire. He cooking.
Stays out of trouble. And I hope he's not out there doing the wrong things. And then the album will go directly into Money Trees. Like, yo, Kendrick is still out here, like being a dickhead, like doing things he's not supposed to do. So yeah, I think thematically it works too. So anyways, what do y'all think of this verse? I think, man, this is amazing verse. Good Kid, Mad City era. I'm down for any Kendrick content that has to do in the Good Kid.
Yeah, that was fire. He cooked. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I'm going to leave a link in the description to Top 5 Troy. He cooked on that. I agree. I like it. I like that because I don't think nobody really broke down that freestyle like that. You know what I'm saying? Or just like we just heard it like, oh yeah, he cooked. I think people so used to Dot cooking, it's like, oh, that's what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? It's like we kind of spoiled for real. Yeah. We spoiled. Yeah, he spoiled us, bro. He spoiled us. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though, man. Big Kish signing out. I'm going, y'all.